This week in the Restroom, we get our prequel on the Flush a Two-Turd franchise from 2004. We've got flying facehuggers, red shirt cast members, predators on steroids, shape-shifting production sets, and veteran actor Lance Henriksen trading his dignity for a big paycheck to appear in the worst alien film since every alien film after he appeared in Aliens. It's AVP, Alien vs. Predator, and before we flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin.
Hey.
Raging Buddha B-movie queen Nora Crest.
What's up?
And sassy cinephile Sarah Polton.
Hi, biatch.
Yeah, she's still working. She's still working on that.
I love it.
Our special guest this time out previously assisted with the flushing of My Super Ex-Girlfriend back in episode 152. He is the creator and founder of the novel comics Alternate History with Superheroes. The first volume, Outbreak Mutiny, was released just last month, and you can get your very own copy over on Amazon. Link in the show notes. Please welcome back author and historian Jay Sandlin.
Wow, thank you. I have nothing to add to that. You pimped me out right. I will take that for a plug. Thank you for that. It is on Amazon, Kindle, and paperback. Ebook is only 99 cents.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Blow some ass. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
Starship Poopers.
Crest!
1 little, 2 little, 3 little predators.
Not bad. Polton!
Ridley Scott, Pilgrim versus the World.
Jay!
Ancient Aliens versus Duck Dynasty. In space.
Not bad. I had franchise over, man. Franchise over. Griff.
More vagina symbolism than a Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit.
Oh, wow. Cerebral. We like it. Crest.
The Three Amigos, Predator Edition.
Christ. Paul.
Alien versus Predator. Sarah's exes team up to figure out who gets her.
Jay.
Sex Crab versus Reggae Hunter.
Oh, wow. Now I need a shower. I had AVP in the Temple of Doom. Griff?
Wayland's World.
No. Paul, Crest?
Who put the girl in charge?
No, Jesus.
Uh-oh.
Paul?
Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator.
There you go, and that is time. That is wrapped up. Not bad. Pretty strong overall, folks. But however, I think we got to go with Griffin had the worst one of the bunch. Whatever your last one was, Griff. What was that?
Sorry, I said Wayland's World.
Yeah, that sucked. All right, so Griffin is the big loser this time, and she gets to read the RSS Restroom Stall Stats in the voice of an alien voice.
Alien versus Predator. Also abbreviated as AVP. It's a 2004 science fiction action horror film directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, and I am sounding like a racist stereotype. I hate you. Hey, Willie, I'm gonna do it in the voice of Al for Alien vs. Predator, also abbreviated as AVP. It's a 2004 science fiction action horror film directed by Paul W.S. Anderson and starring Sanaa Lathan, Lance Henriksen, and Raoul Bulba. It is the first installment of the Alien vs. Predator franchise, adapting a crossover bringing together the eponymous creatures of the Alien and Predator sillies.
Or series.
I prefer sillies movies. A concept which originated in a 1989 comic book, around the time I was actually relevant. The film was released on August 13th, 2004 in North America and grossed over 172 million at the worldwide box office. I could buy so many cats with that. It was followed by a sequel, Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, released in 2007. The film was not screened in advance for critics or Willie. Alien vs. Predator received negative reviews. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a rating of 21%.
There's your RSS Restroom Stall stats for this week. Great job.
That was impressive.
She did too. She got 2 for 1 on that one. Just like we got 2 for 1 in this piece of shit. We're going to talk about. I haven't seen a franchise mashup this offensive since the Star Wars edition of Angry Birds. Your drinking game, folks, for this time out is take a drink every time you see a facehugger crawling out of an egg. That's a lot. That's a lot of booze tonight, folks. So stock up.
Or a drink every time Sanaa Lathan says Wayland.
Yeah.
Oh, if you drink any time Wayland is mentioned, you'll have alcohol poisoning before the first Predator.
This film is what you get when you decide to cast your wife as an alien queen. Hey-oh, think about that. Think about that. Work your way through that one, folks.
Is this the third Paul W.S. Anderson film we've done?
This at least the third one he's done, and the first one without his wife.
Just as bad as Adam Sandler. We gotta stop this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm tired of doing his shit. I'm really getting.
So are you declaring this just unwatchable then?
No, I don't think it's unwatchable. I think it's just really bad. No, unwatchable would be like the Three Musketeers that he did.
I find the new Adam Sandler to be unwatchable.
Oh, he's
but this
unwatchable.
was more watchable than that.
And
I agree.
Yet
I agree.
Yet Honor makes us watch him.
All right. Before we get into this, before we jump right into this, I had a nice little talk with Sarah Poland earlier on over this film after she finished watching it, and she confessed to me that she did not know what a predator was. So let me turn it over to Jay, because Jay's our resident nerd here, guest tonight.
Yeah,
and Jay,
that's true. I don't mean. I've been reading about the predators for years.
Right.
Their species is actually called the Yajtwa.
Oh Christ! All right, so just very briefly, give her the mythology and our audience, so we don't take an hour.
Well, just to compare it to, I live in Alabama, and there are hunter fanatics in Alabama. It would be like if those people in their advanced high-tech camouflage had spaceships and just spent all their time traveling from planet to hunt things.
So they're the rednecks of space.
They are the rednecks of space. They even wear camouflage, but it's so good you literally can't see them.
You're right. October 3rd, 2004, because why screw up 2 franchises with sequels when we can screw up their prequels instead? Both these films happened way before, maybe not so much the Predator one, but definitely
Actually,
the Alien one.
This is a prequel to Alien,
Yes,
and it is a sequel to Predator taking place about 14 years after Predator 2.
Wayland Industries, home of the poorly rendered CGI satellite stations that all look like they were hand-stamped on the screen by a Commodore 64, 2-minute mark. Yeah, really bad CG at the beginning. So, and most of the stuff is done practically, and I will cite that as we get to it. But just some of the CG, obviously, the budget ran out right at the beginning of the movie for this terrible sequence. What is it? It's a computer monitor that shows poorly rendered 2004 graphics, but that's not important right now. Hey-oh, that's all right.
Well,
That's
no,
All
I'm
right,
sorry,
airplane
but that
reference.
looked like it was like in 1996. Like it looked like the beginning of seriously, it looked like the beginning of Independence Day.
You're right. It actually did.
It actually looked even like earlier, like almost like War Games.
Oh, you're getting back to
pretty
Ferris
bad.
Bueller
Pretty
era.
bad.
Yeah, we're going way back.
Well, is there not enough stock footage of the Earth around by now? Did they have to make a new one?
You have to
No,
realize
because
the
haven't you
graphics
heard?
then were not that good.
And why are they, though, the CG? In 2004, we had the technology for doing decent CG.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give this movie credit for several practical effects. That
right.
I
Well, yeah.
on. Like the explosions were really good.
Yep.
The microwave laser from space, straight out of, Weird Science. That was kind of like, okay,
That was good.
we get it. Most of the graphics were shitty. Like every time the aliens are viewing the pyramid, it's just like the infrared outline from
that's a shit. Yeah, we'll talk about that's coming up.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah,
I don't
I felt-
understand. The Predators have like 14 different ways to view shit,
Yep.
apparently, in their little viewfinder glasses.
Yes, they do. They see things in the infrared, and they
Right.
see things in multiple spectrums of.
But then when he takes his face mask off, he just has human eyes.
Pretty blue eyes.
That's
Something
because. Well,
They-
that's
they
because in
mentioned
the
something about them being
Prometheus.
humanoid, right?
I know in Prometheus
they are
we find out that
humanoids,
we are descendants essentially of aliens.
That's the aliens.
No, the aliens were more of a biological.
Yeah, it's a
like,
biological,
plague made
right.
by the engineers. Human beings are more like pure progeny of the engineers because
Right,
they say
right,
we
right,
have
right.
the same DNA.
I didn't know what was under the Predator's mask, so I didn't know
Oh.
what to
Oh,
expect.
Jesus
I kind of thought
Christ.
it was going to be like a hot man.
And they would, you
Yeah,
were a
what?
predator virgin?
Yeah,
she's a
yeah, that's what I'm
virgin.
trying to say.
She's a
I was
predator
like, I
virgin.
don't need to research this movie. I'll know.
You know what?
I am sorry that you popped your cherry on AVP.
Star Wars Episode 1 was my first Star Wars movie. And the
Oh.
Crystal
Okay,
Skull
your
was
parents
my
right now,
first
I'm
Indiana
calling
Jones.
Child Protective
Oh,
Services.
yeah.
Midichlorian.
And took me to Episode 1, and he was like, "It's gonna be really good. I just know it."
Oh,
And then
no.
he was like, "I'm so sorry."
All right, so we're learning a lot.
Explaining a lot of the problems that you're having with men, though. If these are the orders you're seeing things in,
Yeah, this explains a lot.
explaining.
Yeah.
Miss Woods, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Do all James Bond sounding villains have a cell phone number to protagonists climbing ice walls in Nepal?
What fucking carrier had coverage in Nepal?
Why?
In 2004.
No,
That-
I call bullshit.
That was like the era of the "Can you hear me now" commercials.
Yeah.
You think they maybe did that on their
Now that asshole makes the
Singular
worst
Yeah.
is still a
commercials
company.
ever.
First of all, you're never going to see a black woman hanging on the side of an ice wall.
Okay.
No, that would never happen.
Yeah.
It does not happen, okay? But that's beside the
So
point.
They were trying to do colorblind casting, okay?
But it's
First of all,
so
this whole
badly.
this whole movie is racist.
Oh, you mean how the Predator looks like what's his name from the Seattle Seahawks?
Every time the Predators flip their hair, I just
I know. We'll talk. Yeah.
It was Willow Smith. I whip my hair back and forth.
I was so uncomfortable. I was like, oh my god, this whole time
I know.
that
I know.
has been a totally racist trope.
We got to deal with Lathan and her character, but I haven't seen an actor this miscast for a role since Halle Berry played Catwoman. She's terrible in this film.
Alexis Bledel in Sin City.
You know, I'm also understanding going, putting, an African American woman in, in one of these type of roles. But she's
the
just,
irony is in the
she's
first
just
scene,
so
they make
miscast.
her
She's so.
look as like light skinned as possible.
And she's that too, but she's also not in the best shape. That sounds horrible to say. I'm not saying she's not in the proper shape that she would be for climbing ice walls in Nepal or doing everything she has to do at the end of this movie.
Anybody
No,
actually?
that's fine.
Nobody was.
No, it's not fine,
Nobody was
Colin.
a badass in this movie. And
No,
you
that's
know what? Her
She
character.
was.
No, she wasn't. Not her. No.
But
No.
nobody had extended like badass scenes.
She wasn't commanding. Like, she's
Right.
supposed to be this
I agree.
leader, and
Right.
it's not believable because
Exactly.
she looks so young, and she doesn't have that like presence or that like intensity
You're right.
that you
Like
need
Carrie-
to believe. Like
Yeah,
that,
Kerry
like Sigourney
Washington-
Weaver has.
Kerry Washington would have been amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of African American actors I think
Kerry
would have done it.
Washington.
I
was
would've-
way too young then.
What if
Now,
he had cast Halle Berry?
Why didn't they just get Medea? That would have been a better black actress.
Oh man, and now
Come
I'm gonna
on.
be thinking-
Come on.
Medea's Alien Encounter.
5'7".
Medea would have been awesome. You have to admit. Just going around.
He's 6'5", so
Oh,
it would make him tall predator.
There you have tall predators with the 11 feet.
Okay,
All right.
you know what, Honor? That would have made a good SNL sketch, but stop it.
I'm tweeting Tyler Perry right now.
Okay. He said he didn't have a week. How the hell did the helicopter get on top of that ice wall without Lathan hearing it fly over her head?
But you saw all the stuff
Yeah, it
flying off the top.
keeps-
I thought
No.
the waterfall was melting, and then I got really worried.
Oh, you thought that was? I thought her wig must have had some damn good Bose noise canceling,
no,
or
that was
noise
her
canceling
hair.
headphones.
No,
Yeah,
that was
her-
her hair.
Yeah, her hair
Not to
started
mention
actually.
she's an expert on the ice, but can't tell that a helicopter landed there.
Oh, geez.
Dude, I know you. Sure you do. I'm the token black actor from Wayland Industries who speaks in a James Bond accent and rounds up characters that
No,
get
he's
killed off
British.
later in the
I
running
love-
time.
I
And
love
he-
Tommy
and
Flanagan.
hey, guess what, Honor?
Wait, that's
He's-
not his name.
He's
That's not his
a
name.
recurring character in James Bond movies.
Oh, that's really
Okay.
funny. Wow. So he actually, all right.
He was also on Arrow.
I wasn't that far off on my mark with the James Bond thing. Okay, so yeah, we're not too far. So anyway, folks, to recap the plot, there's a heat signature that turns up in the Antarctica, and this Wayland, the head of the Wayland Industry guys, we're going to find out who that is shortly, starts rounding up the experts in their field to come and join them on a fucking boat in a little bit. So they send this James Bond guy, this black dude, who has a great accent and goes around and gets our lead actress, Sanaa Lathan. I can't pronounce her name. I'm just going to call her Lathan. And then there's
No,
a...
you're right. It's
Yeah.
Sanaa Lathan.
Next one comes up with a...
Sanaa
yeah.
Lathan.
Comes up, and then he rounds up a Italian dude, a good-looking guy, by the way. Gets
he
him.
was
Yes.
in under,
Yeah.
he was in
I like
Under
him.
the Tuscan Sun with Diane
Oh
Lane.
boy.
Yeah, this guy
Oh,
was
boy.
all right. All right, so Sarah's getting a little moist. We'll come back to
No,
that.
she,
Uh, The PSR is the point of safe return. Sadly, we pass that point each week here in the restroom. Ew, yeah, never coming. So they round him up, they put him on a helicopter, and they fly him out to this fucking boat, and here we go now, which is in the Antarctica. We're going to the Antarctica, folks. It's going to get cold. Icebreaker Piper Maru. Not to be confused with Icebreaker Piper Paraboo. I know, it's a
Bravo.
Well, it's Paraboo. Not Parabo. What are you talking about, Crest? God.
Look at the spelling.
Oh, it's Paraboo.
Nora, I thought that. I thought
It's like
same thing.
Spanish. You don't say. Okay, I'll ask her. Let me call her up.
Yeah, why don't you call Piper up and you come back to us. So now we're on the boat, folks, and they got the whole team together. And
It's like Ralph Lauren and Ralph Lauren.
there you go. Some of you may be wondering why this team has been assembled, only to be killed off in later scenes. Everybody's a red shirt in this film, folks.
By the way, when they're on the helicopter introducing each other, this happens in so many movies, but how often do you introduce yourself and then give your job title?
Yeah, I wish I'm gonna start doing that.
On The Office, if you're Bob Vance.
Yeah.
If you're me at the bar trying to get a date,
Yeah, that's
am I doing it wrong?
That's you.
or
No, you might be doing it
How
wrong.
do you introduce yourself? at the bar?
Hi, I am Sarah Polton. I am a co-flusher.
You're definitely doing it wrong.
Ready for a Pringle.
Yeah.
Wow, I would want to strike up a conversation with
All right, so Jay's
Alright,
in.
I'm doing it
Jay's in.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
working.
All right, there you go.
Okay, cool.
My experts tell me it's a pyramid, which is super obvious from that crappy Tempest computer graphic. But thanks anyway, Lance.
Sorry, it looked like a combination of like War Games and Tron.
Oh yeah, Crest, you were right on that. The graphics on this pyramid is total bullshit. In 2004, that's the best they can do.
I was
This
looking
is-
for
it's
my
bad.
Atari score.
Yeah. They find out that the heat signature, there's an ancient temple buried underneath the ice in the Antarctica, and this is where the boat's going, folks, just to keep you going. We're going to get back to it. Hang in there. Lance Henriksen shows up around the 8-minute mark, basically to remind us how great he was in Aliens, and he probably cost the production most of its $60 million budget to appear in this fucking turd. Such a great actor who got the short rift in Alien 3 when him and Newt were just summarily killed off. So I guess maybe he just did this for the fans. Does anybody know why? I mean,
He's Bishop the android in
Brilliant.
the future with this company. And
Yes.
then we find out in the past, because this is an Alien prequel, that the founder of the company is a human, and then hundreds of years later they make a robot duplicate of him.
But Jay, I gotta cite this out because Lance Henriksen plays Bishop in Aliens, as we all know, and it was a great turn from him. But then here he's playing the head of the Wayland industry, which is supposedly his look inspired the look of the android. But we always forget.
Right, that would be like if the Disney Corporation decided that they could make AI, so they decide to make Walt Disney.
Right, but we're forgetting Ian Holmes' performance as Ash, who was an android in Alien, which came before Aliens. Like, where does his look come from?
This is 2004.
Right,
and,
so technically Ash is before Bishop.
Right,
You see what I'm
so
saying?
is Ash the descendant of Wayland and AVP?
I'm pointing, where do they get the look for Ian Holmes' character? Like, where is his?
I'm not sure.
Because obviously you're going to base your androids on a look of the
now
head of the
you're
company.
making me sad.
I know, all right. Mr. Stanford, you're looking at the best drilling team in the world. Well, second best, actually.
What?
Bruce Willis and his team are still
That's
drilling
right.
a new asshole into
Yeah.
that meteor, and they weren't available.
Bruce Willis and Ben
Yourself up.
Affleck.
So
Yeah.
I was about to say that was the worst aspect of Armageddon they could have stolen.
The worst aspect of Armageddon was that entire movie.
Oh, ouch.
Oh.
All right, Griff. The costume department should have everyone wear an employee t-shirt from Target, considering how long they'd last in this turd. There's like 40 people, folks, but don't get close to any of them because everybody literally gets wiped out. Spoilers, I don't even know. But you couldn't see that. Did anybody not see that coming? Like, as soon as you saw that group scene, because we've all seen Aliens, we've all seen these films, I wish they had come up with better characters, maybe that lasted longer in the running time.
The only guy.
Well,
with
why would they
any
come up
sort
with
of-
better characters if they're going to kill them all?
Yeah, the only guy with any sort of stakes, they killed him off.
Lance Henriksen shows up. He's the head of this whole operation. He's head of Wayland Industries. Bishop Wayland is his name. He brings this whole team together. The goal is to go investigate. They found a temple, which we mentioned, the Tempest vector graphics. They want to go investigate and be the first ones on site before anybody else shows up because it's a satellite and everybody else will find it. So that's why we're on the boat. And he wants Miss Lathan to lead the team across the ice because she's the expert. If you rush this, people will get hurt, maybe die. And that's why I said you're in an Alien versus Predator film. We can pretty much guarantee that. Today, like I said, once again, we're circling back around, and most of this cast will not be here during the end credits.
Well, their purpose is to act as a breeding ground for the facehuggers.
Right, which you have, because we have to have
Get 'em
that.
off
Right,
screen.
you're
But
absolutely
a lot of them have names because they kept calling out their last names to
No,
each
only
other.
like 3 guys had names. They didn't call out to.
Yeah, most
they
of them did
only
have.
called the names that you had been introduced to earlier. There was no additional names added.
Yeah.
I just remember Giuseppe, the cute Italian. That's
Oh,
it.
I know. He's coming up.
Yeah.
He's, yeah.
That's what I named him,
Giuseppe-
by the way.
Giuseppe and Trainspotting.
Giuseppe, your cute Italian, was kind of my hero because he does the kind of job I would like to do with going to the sites and
Well, there
he
you
was the
go.
explorer, right?
Yeah.
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 Hi, Giuseppe. My name is Sarah Polton. I'm a co-flusher.
He's Italian, by the way. He
Yeah, no, he is. He's a good-looking guy. I'm not.
No, like I said, he did play Marcello and Under the Tuscan Sun.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, he's a good look. Like I'm not gonna.
Bova.
Raul Bova. Yeah, I'm not gonna knock him. He's a good-looking guy. Just seemingly a nice guy in this film. I just wish he had made it to the end of the running time. Well, spoiler.
Well, his only
Sarah,
purpose
you're
in the film.
lucky. He just filed for divorce.
Oh, there you go, Sarah. This is it.
He's
Hey.
available.
I'm a tweet at him.
Okay, you go ahead and
Tweet at him.
you do that while
I was
we're
thinking, like, who is this bitch?
yeah,
Leave me
yeah,
alone.
exactly. Me, I'm sort of partial to penguins. Lathan delivers all of her lines like she's appearing in an episode of Basketball Wives. Again, just circling back to the fact that she is
Oh
terribly.
my
Yeah,
God.
she's. That's what I thought.
Think
It's
you
true
know
though.
her from? Is that
No,
it?
No, she's not in it.
Love and Basketball. He's
Oh,
talking
she
about
was.
the reality
No, I'm
show.
talking about
I know.
Bas. Yeah,
Why do you keep doing that?
because she's miscast. She's terribly
Love and
miscast.
Basketball.
Love of Basketball. She is great
Oh,
at
boy.
rom-coms.
But why is she in this? Right? She had no business being in this at all. Then, if she's like, why would you cast somebody who's in a rom-com or can be in Basketball Wives to be your heroine in a sci-fi action film?
Also,
First of all, she's been in a lot of stuff besides those 2 things. Maybe you should try looking her up and.
No,
finding
that's
some
your
stuff.
job. That's
First of all,
your job.
She was in Moesha.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's done that too. I'm just saying she's way out of her league here. I'm not. That has
No,
nothing with her color.
no,
she
I
just
think
And
can't.
I was about to
She's
say, I
bad.
don't think anybody really bought her as an action hero.
Right, exactly. Because she's
Yeah.
not.
No,
Well, she was
I
coming
think
off
she-
of the
but I
movie
don't
she did
think
just
she-
before this was Out of Time with Denzel Washington, where she's also the heroine of the story.
That's a pretty good
So she
film.
was a big,
but-
she was a rising star at this point. And so then,
Okay.
of course, the next thing you do when you're a rising star and you've just starred opposite Denzel Washington is to throw yourself into a shitstorm of crossover fucking franchises.
This
to
crap.
ruin everything.
But
She did.
You
It
just,
act-
said you just said the key word, franchise.
But this actually hurt her career because she really didn't
This-
recover from this.
No, she's doing a lot.
Oh,
was on
Nip-
Nip Tuck. She
that's
did
not even
good
on
on
the
that.
air, dude. That's not even on the air
Yeah,
anymore.
she did.
Guest spots on Nip Tuck is not
Yeah.
the same as
It's not a guest
headlining
spot.
blockbuster
It wasn't
movies.
a guest spot. She was she
Well-
was on for 12 episodes. She was on for an
12
entire
whole
season.
episodes.
That's
12?
out of
That's a
7 seasons,
that's a
sir.
guess.
I know,
Yeah,
but
come on.
She was on for one whole
That's,
season.
no, this hurt her career. This really, because she was supposed to really fly after this film. In fact, that's why she wasn't in the sequel, Requiem, because she was so terrible in this one. They just dumped her.
I hate rom-coms, but hers are actually very interesting and cool. Like,
All right, well, she's not. She shouldn't be here, is what I'm saying.
I
This
agree
is
with
not-
Honor.
I'm going to lay down 3 simple rules, which all of you will promptly break. Otherwise, we'd have a boring film at the 14-minute mark. That's where Lathan lays down the line of what to do. Basically, I wish this woman had done this for Prometheus and the Alien Covenant. What the hell is going on? Why can't these people follow simple instructions? You don't. What is the 3 rules, guys? You don't go anywhere alone.
Stay in constant communication.
Right.
And
What's
you
the
know,
third one?
surprises are going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah.
This is how I got stuck in a metro car in DC last night. And
All
had
right.
to
All
call
right.
the police.
Stay.
And now my voice is hoarse from screaming because
Oh
I
my
didn't listen to
God,
any of
you
these rules.
must-
You would
That's
have to
funny.
say they broke the rule about going somewhere alone in epic proportions.
First of
Yeah.
all, this movie
Yeah.
shows every horror film trope. In the opening scene with the archaeologist,
Oh,
sexy
God.
archaeologist,
Guys.
he's sticking his hand in something weird, and then like how many times did somebody pop up behind
I
someone
know,
like
I know.
suddenly?
I was afraid to watch this movie at night.
Oh, brother,
because I was
really?
like, oh,
You
I'm
were-
going to be really scared. I'm not going to be able to sleep. Slept like a baby. This got me real ready for bed. Like,
This-
so corny.
put
I
me
guess we
right to
should-
sleep. Not scared, not startled, munching on pudding. It was
Well-
a great snack movie.
Well, we're getting. Well, hold on. We
It
haven't.
is hard to be scary.
This film really, if Sarah Poland can have pudding and just go to bed and sleep like a baby, that's a fucking problem. Because she's the biggest baby on our show. She should be climbing the walls on this film. And this
Yeah,
film is
it
not
doesn't take
scary
long
at
to
all.
scare me.
It's and we'll talk about. We haven't even gotten to that scare part. Hang in there. I'm glad you decided to stay. So hopefully we can have lesbian sex before the end of the film. That's that blonde chick. Was Rousseau's hair a standard issue lesbian haircut in 2004, Chris? She
Yes.
looks like a blonde Sonic the Hedgehog.
But can I
That's a
just say something?
good-looking
How
French
many
woman.
people does Sanaa Lathan have the longing look between in this
Oh,
movie?
yeah.
I'm sorry, there
I know.
actually is a
Uh-oh.
blonde Sonic the Hedgehog, supersonic.
I think you
okay.
were hoping for some
Maybe it's
lesbian
the
action
babies.
here, and you
Oh,
did not get
God.
it.
But she's a good-looking woman, though. That Rousseau, she's been in a bunch of. She's a French actress and a an attractive woman. Again, they gave her the boost in the hair, which she maintains for the entire until she dies, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, the face clampers, and she still has perfect hair and makeup. Whatever.
That's the power of pomade.
That's
right there.
face hugger, not face clamper. It's an abandoned whaling station. Didn't Bishop say earlier that this entire area was a no man's land around the 17-minute
It
mark?
was.
I wanna say something
Thank
about
you.
this. I want to say something about
Go
this
ahead.
island. It is a real island that is claimed by Finland because it's so far from actual Antarctica. It's outside of the treaty where nobody can claim
Really?
it.
It
so
is
it's
a no
real
man's
place.
land, right?
It's really like the place of nightmares. Like you can't. There's nothing that can.
That's
claim
awesome.
it.
I wish I'd filmed that movie, but why is a whaling station out there if nobody's been out there?
Well, because
It had
at
been
some
empty
point
since
people had been
1904.
whaling.
Well,
out
somebody's
there.
been there, so it's not a no man's land, guys. Obviously, people have fucking been there, so obviously man has
because
been there.
They explained to you later that in 1904, all of the people fucking disappeared one day, and everyone was like, "What the fuck happened?"
Aliens.
So people just didn't go back there because it was some bullshit.
Okay, but
You know.
but I'm
But
saying that
apparently
people have been there.
nobody notices every 100 years there's a 2,000-foot hole dug in the ice.
Okay, so basically they made it to the site, and it's a whaling station. The temple is like 2,000 feet below the whaling station. We're going to find out how they get there in one moment. Well, that tunnel didn't dig itself. There we go, guys. Guess we can thank the Predators for drilling that all too convenient hole straight to the temple so we didn't have to waste Bruce Willis' time watching them drill it for 3 fucking weeks. 26-minute
The oil
mark.
drilling, the
Woo!
oil drilling guy is like, do we still get paid?
Yeah, why did it even go down? That's the whole reason why they were there.
So
And they
basically,
never seem to question it later. It's just like,
No,
okay,
they-
let's go.
My first comment was when they're setting up the cables for everybody to go down. I'm like, oh gee, I wonder if one of those cables is gonna break.
yeah, well,
Let's
yeah.
see what happens.
So basically, the Predators are coming in from space because they got the heat signature reading out of space. They decide just to shoot that laser beam that Jay mentioned earlier straight down into the Antarctic. Drills a nice, really
Laser.
They're-
I'm using my air quotes.
Laser.
Laser.
freaking laser beam. Shoots a 30-degree hole straight down to the temple. So basically, all I have to do is rappel down at that point.
That guy looked at it for 2 seconds and said it was a 30-degree hole.
Entire ice cavern looks like it was carved out of a shit ton of styrofoam coolers. I kept waiting for
Yeah.
a wampa to show up and tear someone apart. When they get down to the bottom of this ice hole, and of course one guy falls off and they have to rescue him. That's Lance Henriksen. They get down to the bottom. It looks like complete shit. A terrible set design on that one. And notice they kept it in the dark as much as possible because if you turn on the house lights, folks, it'd be like a bar at 2 a.m. You get to see shit you don't want to see when you're drunk. Only the chosen ones may enter. Which is reason enough to turn around and immediately leave, but they don't. Why not? If you're reading script on the wall and it says you're not supposed to be here, guess what? You're not supposed to be here. Again, like a bar at 2 a.m. Get the fuck out.
But did we mention how this was a pyramid that this was the pyramid that we're criticizing, but it united the symbology and architecture of all the ancient cultures?
Well, it was just 3 though, Jay. It was the Aztecs, the Mayans, and some other motherfuckers.
The handsome Italian at first said all of it.
The good-looking
No,
Giuseppe.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Aztec, Mayan, and Cambodian.
Yeah,
Well, they
it was
referenced
Or
the
Egyptian.
Aztec.
I'm sorry, Aztec,
Cambodian.
Egyptian, and Cambodian.
I'm sorry, you're right.
No,
Egyptian
it
and Cambodia.
It was the United Colors of Benetton of ancient. I mean, I'm sorry, it made X-Men Apocalypse make sense.
Paul, did you get all swoony every time the Italian guy explained something to you?
I was okay with his mansplaining, sure.
That was his job in the plot.
That way.
No, I'm just teasing. He
was a
I
talking
didn't understand
handsome
how he figured it all out.
He was the red shirt Hermione. It was his job to know everything.
They get down to the bottom of the hole really quick, folks, and then the styrofoam thing, and then there's a giant temple. They do find the temple. It's a big mat plate or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, they get inside. Apparently, you can just walk right in. These things aren't even fucking sealed up, which I thought was interesting. I think if you're not home, why don't you close the front door? Like, the aliens are from outer space. Why would you leave that shit open for anybody to walk in?
In the Yajta culture or the Predator culture,
Oh, boy.
this was actually a proving ground for the young warriors.
That's what it
So
is.
right
That's actually what it is.
Okay,
Okay,
let me
yeah.
ask a question though.
I mean-
This is a nerd question, Jay.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
ready? Klingon versus Predator, who wins?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to go with the Predators because they have
Ooh.
better weaponry. But
Okay.
the Klingons fight to the last man.
But you know what would be rad? A Klingon versus Predator rap battle.
Worf would beat them all, but
Yeah.
the Predator would win at click boxing.
Right now, Sarah Poland's saying, check, please. Yeah, it's getting way too fucking nerdy.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you're missing out on a whole range of dudes that are super nerds that would be geeking.
There you go.
They'd be wetting themselves.
Nora, they
them.
still like me, I promise you. I promise you, they want to explain it to me.
Oh, that's right. They do want to mansplain it. Okay, that's good. Quinn, is that you out there? No, but it's a group of predators who will wipe out most of the base camp around the 30-minute mark with about as much excitement as watching Prometheus for the first time. Enjoy. The predators do show up, as Jay mentioned, at the exact same time, and they just wipe out most of the base drilling team, we should say, that stayed on the surface. But there's no suspense. The special effects are pretty terrible, even for the cloaking device stuff. I thought was pretty. And I think, was this film in 3D? Maybe that's why it's thrown me off.
No, they didn't have that. That wasn't.
If
a
it
thing
wasn't,
back then.
it felt like it.
It did.
I think they
It
were
did.
more trying to show off the hybrid puppetry, live action, and CG together.
It's just a bad blend.
Look at what we can do in the amazing days of 2004.
2004. Exactly. They gave their lives so the hunt could begin. Characters are so insanely stupid in this turd that if a street hooker said she had a raging case of VD, they'd still try to fuck her. Hey-oh! All right, let's say
Honor, you gotta.
I
think you should get drunk when you're writing the joke.
Wow, great. Chris with the win tonight. Chris with the win. I think you're right. Maybe I'm doing this reverse. I really should be fucking drunk.
I think so.
Yeah, and then sober when reading them. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, I'll work on that for next week, guys. Thanks. You two stay here. Catalog everything. You're gonna be totes safe in this sacrificial chamber.
Oh, their ribs have been broken apart.
No shit.
Came out of them.
They run into.
This was an excellent scene
Go ahead.
for alien nerds because the sacrificial chamber was in the same arrangement as the sleep pods in the original Alien.
Oh, there you go, Nerd Central. There you go, folks. Well, I wish that we could have latched on to fun stuff like that, but unfortunately, it's a very boring scene. They start exploring the temple, folks, and they get to what they call the sacrificial chamber. And like Jay said, all the sleep pods are just stone tablets are laid around there, and there's dead mummies on there. But again, the chests have been broken out. The problem is we're, with the film itself and with these characters, is as an audience, we're way ahead of this material than they are. So the entire film, they're playing catch-up, and that's the most boring type of film you can do, because we know all of the mythology already. We know how the facehuggers work. We know what happens when they incubate in a human body. We know what happens after they get out of a human body.
But don't you think that it's kind of weird how they, tried to go out of their way to say it was consensual?
Oh, yeah, humans would be like, I just put a facehugger on my face, and I'll be good to go. No,
well,
actually,
show it later. Even when they show it later, they show the girl
hold on.
And it's like, oh no, it was not consensual.
No, I don't think it was consensual, Jay, but Jay says it was. Jay, what's your...
That is historically accurate for Mayan and Aztec human sacrifices.
I know.
Okay.
It was kind of like if you were chosen for a sacrifice, or if you willingly accepted one, you were pleasing the gods, and they would treat you like a king or a queen.
All right, so basically they reach the sacrifice. They leave a small team stays there while the other team goes to investigate a chamber that's below that chamber. There's a lot of chambers in this, folks. Indiana Jones, and we're getting to it. This is like finding Moses' DVD collection. Which might have been a far more interesting film than this one, 39-minute mark. So when they get to the chamber below, the Italian guy does some weird shit with one of the containers, and it pops open a weapons cache, basically, a Predator's weapon cache.
Oh, no. He was translating, the dates by the Mayan calendar.
Right.
And figured out that it was set to the date that she had mentioned that this whole thing, was abandoned.
That was the 1904 date.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he goes, okay, I'm going to set it at today's date.
That doesn't make any sense, and it wouldn't have worked. I guess that...
It just happens to be 100 years later.
Right, the Predators come back every 100 years, right?
To last.
They come back every 100 years, right?
He asked. He's like, what's today's date again?
Predators come back every 100 years, I guess, to hunt, to do this, to warm up the alien queen.
They have their spots all over the galaxy. We know that from Predators, that the planets are their hunting grounds.
Right, yeah, they did. You are correct on that, and as a result of this, when they first enter the temple, they trip off a stone that sets in motion shit below the temple. Basically, they thaw out an alien queen that you saw in Aliens, to start kicking out eggs on a conveyor belt, which we're going to get to that, which is going to start this whole bullshit.
Oh, and she's
cranking
trained
up.
up.
Yeah, I just want to cover that real quick. A little too much excitement, and that's when I said, well, what film does Henriksen think he's appearing in? Because it's not this film. He obviously has a medical condition, of course, and he's not doing too well, so he shouldn't even been there to begin with, but he wants to, put his flag on the top of Mount Everest type of deal before he dies and becomes an android. No, don't touch them. I've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. Cue the closing chamber door sequence around the 41-minute mark. That's the weapons cache that I mentioned. Why are you touching shit, folks?
Oh my God!
Why are you touching stuff? These are intelligent.
I was rooting for the aliens.
Fucking dummies, real dummies.
I'm like, oh my God, humans suck.
They do. We had the same problem in Prometheus, where they're supposedly the best in their field make common, stupid mistakes.
No, the android did that in Prometheus.
Yeah, but no, the humans were pretty fucking stupid too, sticking their faces where they shouldn't have been. And in this new Alien Covenant, folks, that's your tie-in. Alien Covenant opens tomorrow, and good luck. It doesn't improve, guys. The reviews on that one have sucked as well. Not as bad as this piece of shit. But again, I'm tired of seeing experts in their field doing incredibly stupid stuff. Was it Alfred Hitchcock once said that audience will follow anyone who is very good at their job. So these guys, so I'm more than happy to get behind characters who are very good at what they do. Indiana Jones, very good at his job. These fucking morons are not. Can't we just get intelligent characters in intelligent films to challenge the audience to kind of rise up to their level? Do we have to always dumb this shit down?
No, we got that in Arrival.
Not really, though. Rival was a mess. That's kind of a mess, too.
What? I love it.
All right, let's get moving. What did you say this room is called? The room where facehuggers are able to leap from their eggs in slow motion. Since when could they do that shit? Never.
There was a lot of slow motion shit. In this movie.
But facehuggers do not.
It was not like 300 slow motion, but it kind of was close.
But facehuggers do not have. They cannot do that. They don't have the propulsion.
No, you're absolutely
they
right.
Can't. They can't leap
really
that far.
About the floating vaginas is that they come out of nowhere. Like, the leap's just such a surprise. Well, so put it in slow motion just takes away from the horror.
But they can't. Now, I know they're going back to the original Alien, but you got to remember, John Hurt stuck his face in, practically inside that egg for the facehugger to move upwards onto his face, or the helmet, I'm sure, of his spacesuit. Here, they just leap across the room like they're basketball players. You can't. I'm sorry, you have to call bullshit on that.
I don't think it was them moving in slow motion. I just think that was a really weird and terrible job with the editing and cinematography.
Oh, yeah.
So I have an explanation. Those were bred specifically for the temple by the engineers to hunt
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow, Nerd Central on that one. Okay.
They have special abilities.
All right, yeah, you're special, Jay. Okay, let's give him one. We're not prepared for this. No shit. That's what Sanaa Lathan says. We're not prepared for this. We got to get out. You're in an alien temple that's, thousands of years old with no protective gear and no knowledge of the two species that are going to come to get you, and now you're going to say a stupid line like this.
Shape. The pyramid changes shape like
constantly.
The Hunger Games.
Like the Maze Runner. Yeah.
Fire. She told them, don't do this. and now she's like, and they
every
were like,
expert they hired, they ignored. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they were nice. They were nice to her. So she's like, oh, okay.
So basically, somebody trips off something that traps the everybody everywhere, and the people in the sacrificial chamber get trapped. The facehuggers come out of their eggs because the eggs come up on a conveyor belt, which I mentioned earlier. Hit everyone in the face, including that really cute Russian lesbian. She unfortunately dies, and with the great hair though, she does have great hair.
French, by the way, she's French.
Oh, did I say Russian? It doesn't really matter.
Every time I saw that conveyor belt with the alien egg you were talking about,
I loved it.
Lucy and Ethel.
Yeah.
Grabbing
wow.
trying to stick them in their mouth.
Sandler with the win tonight. So stuff starts going to hell. Only another 200 yards to the entrance, and it should be just enough time for the Predators to wipe out a few more extraneous cast members around the 45-minute mark. So we should say the Predators arrive on site. There's only 3 of them, and they make it to the temple, and they start killing off Jesus Christ, the humans who are trying to get the hell out of here, who are armed. So, the Predators are doing their Predator things. Also, all the Predators are all beefed up like they're on steroids. They're all wrestlers. They look way too thick.
Actually, when you
Jay?
say they, the same actor played all the Predators.
Oh, well, okay. So what? Dwayne Johnson looked way too thick in this film. They're too big, I think, Jay. Aren't they?
Dwayne Johnson might sue you for
Because the guy who
him up being in this movie.
The predators,
Go ahead.
even the species of predators, come in different shapes and sizes with variations in their physiology.
Okay, because in the first one, there was that lean guy who's dead now. I forget the guy's name.
He was, and that I'm gonna call that like the jungle predator, the jungle variation. So maybe he was made to be like lean and mean, whereas the ones that fight the xenomorphs or the aliens need to be beefier.
It seems that we are rats in a maze. Just in case the constantly shifting Indiana Jones temple wasn't enough of a clue, we're just gonna spell it out for you folks. In case you can't figure out shit's moving around like a Rubik's cube, we'll tell you it is. I hate that shit. I like the idea of the shape-shifting maze. I know we've seen that done in a million different films, from Ray Harryhausen all the way up to the Maze Runner and the Hunger Games bullshit.
I was just gonna say I enjoyed it. I love writing ancient temples. So
Yeah.
when you finish my book, you'll know why.
You want a piece of me, you ugly son of a bitch? A fully formed xenomorph finally shows up on screen around the 50-minute mark in a film that runs only 101 minutes. Well done. They took a way too long a time, folks, to get to the full-grown alien that we're all.
You gotta introduce characters, and then you gotta get them.
No.
I mean, I guess the other option is to show up with the aliens already there.
Yeah, that might have been. I don't know. All right. How much more interesting this film would have been if we had gotten rid of the humans altogether? This film was just Predator and aliens, and there was no human dialogue. And it was just an hour and a half of that.
You're dealing with aliens and predators are your protagonists.
Right.
And people mainly wanted to see the fight, so they wanted to see the action.
I think they would have been with this.
You could have given them more than that, and people would have had a fun popcorn movie.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But
We didn't need the humans, though.
That's exactly what I said. I said I was rooting for the aliens and predators.
It just needed more of that.
Yeah,
and
we didn't need the
the
humans.
fan base has been calling for like an AVP movie that takes place on like the Predator world.
Yeah, that would be. Oh my god.
But also, can I just say that? Let's face it, the predators are going planet to planet,
yes,
and they're murdering shit. You know they're broadcasting that this is some sort of pay-per-view back home on the
there you
planet.
go.
Roman gladiator Colosseum.
You're right.
Where were the camera crews? Where was the, they didn't have their GoPros on or anything.
The helmets?
I don't buy
You're right.
When they mount those guns to their shoulders, I bet there's a gun cam.
Too much time has been lost to leave here with nothing. Like Lance Henriksen's dignity over appearing in this turd for one. All right, I butchered that joke, but yeah, that poor guy. So basically, he's dying, and they want to leave with the weapon. They found the weapons. They want to get out with those weapons, the alien weapons, the predator weapons. Come on, we have to get Wayland. Jesus Christ. Cue Alien versus Predator SmackDown, folks, around the 54-minute mark, which has all the impact of watching two out-of-shape cosplayers fighting over a bust of William Shatner at Comic-Con. Boy, after all this build-up, to see these two go at it, this is what we get. Just two guys wrestling around in costumes. Fucking terrible. Did anybody thought that was like, this is the apex of the Alien versus Predator franchise, right?
I don't know. You just made me think Apex Predator. And that would be a cool title.
All right, Jay's rewriting the fucking movie. Okay, yeah, but there's just two guys just beating it out. It's a badly shot sequence, which is badly edited. You can't see what's going on. It's like a Jason Bourne. Everything's just cut too close together, so you don't even really get a sense of geography.
They love sticking their heads into frame together.
Oh yeah, well that looks cute. Yeah, I thought they were gonna kiss. That would have been awesome. In case you care, and boy, we certainly don't, the Predator does lose this battle. That guy does get fucking killed by the alien. It's an okay first battle, but again, it's just so badly shot. It's just two guys rolling around.
That was a young Predator. He was inexperienced, and it was basically the red shirt Predator.
I think they waited too long to explain the backstory behind this whole thing.
Griff, they've had 6 films between the two franchises that explain the backstory.
I'm talking about, like, they seem to make this movie for people who maybe hadn't seen it.
Like Sarah Polton.
Well, I'm familiar with the Alien franchise. I mean, I understood it more or less. I didn't really get what a Predator was. I was pretty bored.
This movie came out before, like, Google was, like, prominent and, like, Wikipedia or anything.
That's true.
People couldn't look up the backstory of this.
But you would just see the films, though. There's 6 films between the two franchises. You would have seen them.
But you have to appeal to a new generation. Alien came out back in the 80s.
Don't turn your back on me. Just like you did to this once viable franchise, Lance. Well, actually, he really did turn his back because they did kill him off in the third one, so I really can't blame him. That's kind of mean. Frankly, I'm surprised. That's my next line. Lance Henriksen appeared in 2/3 of the running time. I would have insisted on a one-scene cameo. He actually makes it to almost the end of the film. And I got to give him credit for that because he could have just came in and said, I'm just going to do the beginning stuff and collect a big paycheck and been out. And that's really a testament to the actor, Lance Henriksen. It's just been an incredible actor, and he's done a lot of great genre stuff.
Being impressed, he was very sick while making the film.
Okay, well, he's still alive, though, right? He is alive, right?
No, not like deathly sick.
Oh, he was just
ill, like not feeling well at all.
That's probably why they wrote it in.
That could be. But I got to give him credit because he really is, boots on the ground type of actor, and he always been very supportive of the industry and showing up when he shouldn't have no business being there. I thought he would have enough money by now that he doesn't have to do work anymore, but apparently not. There you go. That was it. And he does die, folks. It's a rite of passage. It's starting to make sense. It's also starting to make sense how desperate 20th Century Fox was to keep making money with these two franchises. Did anybody catch an air of desperation? Maybe not Poland so much. She wasn't a big fan of both of the franchises. But anybody else? Like, this was just a bad cash grab. And a quick one, right? Who said that this came together real quick? Was that you, Jay?
Me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Griff. Yeah, Griff. They kind of threw this together.
No, because you could say it was in development hell for over a decade first.
Really? Was it that long? God.
Yes, they were planning it ever since they showed the xenomorph skull in Predator 2.
Right, which was a great end to that film, by the way.
And a comic book had come out with Alien versus Predator like the year before that movie.
Okay, and it's really taking this long.
The idea's been there. Yeah, it took that long. It was but then and then people suggested the Alien sequel, and that was when they thought of it again because it had been such a dead idea for a while. They said, let's throw in the Predator.
And then they picked Paul W.S. Anderson to direct. He's a terrible director. He has no sense of style, suspense, or
and
editing.
Once it got greenlit, it did come together very quickly.
Yeah, but again, with an editor...
this was the story they had. I don't know.
Let's keep going. Thousands of years ago, these hunters found a backwater planet. Let's now stop the film cold around the hour and 1 minute mark so we can have an unnecessary flashback sequence of how the Predators created this Temple of Doom. Did we really need that sequence? No.
It was my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, wow.
I loved how they called Earth a backwater planet.
I like that.
Earth is called a backwater planet.
We are.
Every story.
Yeah, pretty much that's our canon on Earth, is that we are in BFE in the universe, and people just like to fucking invade us, blow shit up, possess us.
How do you say scared shitless in Italian? Also, how do you say this movie blows?
Did you know what he literally said in Italian?
No, what? No, what was it?
The translation literally was, something like, I am in this pyramid with you, and I am scared shitless.
Ah, brother Christ. Wait. While they probably stab a xenomorph to death, despite it being incredibly difficult, damn it, for humans to kill these things around the hour and 10-minute mark.
Oh, that made me so mad.
The cast is dwindling down. We're down to the Italian guy and the Sanaa, Lathan. And as a result, they run into it. Now, basically, an alien and a predator are starting to fight it out again. The alien jumps towards Miss Lathan, who manages to grab the spear of the predator and actually stab him to death. That would have been literally impossible. The alien would have killed her because he just would have went through that. If anybody's seen an alien film, it's fast.
She doesn't have the strength to.
No, no, Jay. That's what I'm saying. She's not. Even the Rock couldn't have fucking held that alien back because the guy would have went through he just would have kept going. Like the force of when he hit it. The alien would just run right up on it. I don't be all fucking nerdy on this shit, but I'm telling you.
Plot convenience, yeah.
Yeah, it's a convenience of plot. I understand they have to make her no badass, but she never, like when we mentioned earlier, doesn't become that badass, but we're going to try. Hey, I'm coming with you because a human-predator team-up might have made for a more interesting film than the usual humans being caught in the middle of the story delivered here. I like that idea because basically what happens is when she kills the alien, the other predator's like, oh, this bitch has got some game. And basically, they kind of team up together. I thought, again, Lethal Weapon style. We mentioned that earlier. That would have been a great film, guys. Wouldn't that have been more interesting to watch? Like, if the film started like that, we just had one human and this predator, and then they had to go up against all these aliens.
And put Arnold in the role.
No, a woman. No, I'd like not this woman, but I like the idea of having a woman there.
But Arnold's character would make sense because
right. I agree with that.
To him after the original Predator,
yeah,
he could have been like hanging out with him all these times.
And he's also not showing up in the Predator sequel, folks. Shane Black is doing a sequel to another Predator film, which we don't need.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I
love all the Predator.
All
movies.
right, so I guess Jay's in on that one. The rest of us are. I could give a shit less, but apparently Schwarzenegger said he wasn't going to do a cameo in that, which is a shame because he was the most interesting, and Danny Glover too. I think the two of them would have been great. At least the Predator and Lathan have the same hair weave in common. But I don't know if I can.
It's a real hair.
I don't think that was a real hair. I think that was a wig, dude.
Yeah, no,
not a wig.
No, her hair got increasingly kinky through.
All right.
Because it got wet. That's what happened.
Yeah.
All right. You ladies know the hair. I'm gonna back off that one. Okay, I'll give it.
I just heard increasingly kinky. Back to the Alien versus Predator porn.
Yeah. Jay's in a whole nother movie. What are you doing? I'm building the shittiest Shaka Zulu armor and spear instead of just letting Lathan use one of the 50 high-tech weapons the Predator has on him at the hour and 13-minute mark. This drove me bananas. So basically, the Predator's like, okay, you got street cred. Instead of me giving you one of my fucking cool shit-ass weapons, I'm going to give you this fucking alien skull and the tail on top of a piece of wood. And then you can fight. Come on, guys.
You don't give a child a loaded gun.
Come on. She deserved, I think, an alien weapon at this point.
Look at it this way. Would you give a primitive native with no contact with the modern world a loaded Desert Eagle?
Absolutely, because but you're gonna get.
Okay,
wait.
The
Jay.
Second Amendment is the First Amendment.
Jay, she also doesn't know how to use an alien head and a spear. I don't know why he had 50 weapons. He could have gave her just one, but all right, guys, all right, keep going. They must not reach the surface, which is what the production staff was screaming about this film to Fox after Anderson got done editing it. All right, that's my own private joke there. It's a bomb. Like that joke. How do the Predator and Lathan manage to run out of the temple so quickly, yet no one else could do the very same thing earlier at the hour and 18-minute mark? Did you notice that? So he sets off. So basically, the alien and they walk into a whole nest of eggs, and the Predator, in case you're not familiar with the Predator mythology, as Jay knows, they have a bomb, like a nuclear bomb on their wrist. So he throws that in the fucking hive, and they start running out. But they could run right out. They couldn't run out earlier, but now they not only can run out of the temple, but they can run right. They can run right to the hole, to the surface. All this other bullshit that would have never been possible. At least not from Lathan. The Predator, I can see maybe has a better stride and maybe could have outran the bomb. I don't know what the time on that bomb is, guys. If you've seen the Predator films, you know how that works.
It was like a squiggly line, squiggly line path.
Right?
Yes. You're one ugly motherfucker. Hey, the Predator franchise called. They'd like you to stop using their lines in their shitty franchise mashup, please. That line is,
motherfucker.
I know, and no, she didn't get that far.
Motherfucker on mine.
I watched the edition. There was an edition where she did say it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I watched that one.
All right, so she does say
it.
it.
No, they cut it. It was like the typical trope where they cut it off.
There you go.
And I wondered. I was like, why did they do that?
The Predator bomb has
It's actually a PG-13 movie, which is the only one in the franchise to have been that way.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely correct on it. The Predator bomb has the ability to wipe out an entire civilization, as we've been talking about it at length. Yet Lathan and the Predator have no problem outrunning it. Sure. So they run their ass off, don't they? They fucking track stars. Apparently, Lathan's character can outrun the alien queen as well. Because now we're not done, folks. It's not enough we destroyed the whole temple and all the aliens in there, but the alien queen, we should mention, breaks free of her fucking egg sac and starts coming after these idiots. And she pops up at the end. And that's why I said Lathan's character is the Jackie Joyner Kiersey of this AVP franchise.
What?
Yeah, think about that. You got to work on this. Track star. Get it?
Well, I know who she is.
All right, well, that's the joke. That's it. So that's all I got, man. Yeah, in a roundabout way, the head Predator gets killed. The guy she was with gets killed. She manages to kill the queen alien or send it down to the water where it freezes to death. Whatever. Anyway, the head Predator shows up with the spaceship and shit. Just gives her that stupid spear, which she should have had a lot earlier, as a token gift. Last shot of the film shows the alien Predator hybrid bust out of the fallen Predator aboard the mothership. How did the alien baby survive? Or how the alien baby survived Maybe, or xenomorph, maybe the biggest mystery. Anybody know how that thing would have survived even if the...
Why did it take so long to gestate?
That's the other thing, right.
It took longer because it was taking on the genetic traits of the predator to make the hybrid version, which takes longer, and that was also the case, I think, in Alien Resurrection with the hybrid with Ripley.
Oh, God. All right. So there we go. We have the nerd answer on that one. Man, we should have had Jay on the internship. He would have done really well with that flush.
I kind of sleep through that movie every Sunday afternoon on HBO.
Exactly. That's exactly what we did, too. So basically, yeah, it teases a sequel the sequel actually deal with that? I think there was, right? Wasn't there?
It dealt with the aftermath, yes.
It does deal with the aftermath.
Predators that are watching this trial, they see that there was basically a loss because they had to set off the bomb.
Right.
So they have to go back and remove the evidence that they were there. There's kind of a Predator Prime directive.
Yeah, there is a Predator. Crest on credits? Anything? God damn it. Okay, so there we go.
Well, they gave us the whole Carrie ending there with the fucking, Predator alien.
Which wasn't scary at all, which was completely fucking terrible. All right, folks, so that's Alien versus Predator. AVP, I'm sorry, Alien versus Predator. We took it out and played with it a lot longer show. Can we flush it, ladies and gentlemen? Can we please flush it?
Bye, Willie.
What? Oh, Christ almighty. Just completely tanked out at the end of this show. That's great. Yeah, consider it flush.
I was waiting for it would have been great in the credits if they were going to get super campy and they would have just done the hello, my baby. Hello.
I was thinking about that today from Spaceballs. About that.
That is it for this week. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin, Raging Buddha Beam Movie Queen Norcrest, sassy cinephile Sarah Polton. Great job as always, ladies. Thank our very special guest, Jay Sandlin, author and historian, author of Outbreak Mutiny, the Alternate Heroes, Jesus Christ, novel comics. He's got a long title on that one. Folks, it's on Amazon. I got the link in the show notes. If you haven't bought it yet, go buy it. Jay, thank you so much. Your expertise and knowledge, your nerd knowledge has been invaluable for this show. Hashtag nerd knowledge. But Jay, you do a great job, and we really appreciate that. Obviously, you're incredibly intelligent and nerdy, and it's awesome to have you on this kind of nonsense.
To be on the show, and I was actually, you know what? At the end of the day, I enjoyed watching this film. Thanks for giving me an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all in fun, folks. I mean, we're not going to recommend this film.
Covenant.
Well, all right, don't get ahead. Don't get nuts, Jay. Don't get nuts.
I want to see it.
That's it for this week, folks. Folks, like I said, links in the show notes. You can go check out his book, novelcomics.com. Check out his website. Give Jay Sandlin some love, and we have some Twitter links for him as well. And Jay will be back, I'm sure, in a future episode. We look forward to it. We're going to be back next week, folks, to torture you with something else. Until then, say goodbye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man.
Biatch.
No, really?
Hi. This is Nora Crest, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we attract more listeners and you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I'm Nora Crest, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.